guy from the Brian Jonestown massacre called alcohol. He called it pain go bye-bye juice. I always got, hey, welcome to Rock and Roll Junkie. I'm your host, Johnny Skank. Great to be here with you in studio today. To my immediate left is my guest, Dr. Carrie. Carrie, what's your specialty?
My specialty is human development.
Human development. So you when you get a resume, you hire and fire the people, right? You're the hatchet lady, right?
No, that's human resources.
Oh, shit.
No. This is healthy development of humans, lifelong.
Hey, that's what we're all about here. I mean, we talk about rock and roll, and you know, we take calls, we take email, we do all kinds of stuff, but we talk about human development too. And basically, well, I got to tell the viewers, because you know, we're an open book here. You got up at 4:30 in the morning. What happened, man?
I was just up. The birds, you know, the light.
This light, man, changes things. I have the blackout curtains because I don't like waking up. You know, if I'm more of a late afternoon. I'm a night owl. I don't know if you could guess that.
I figured.
But it's
you
hard,
strike
man.
me as a late to bed, late to get up.
I just, you know, man, the mornings for certain people, and you know, I'm not one of those people. Maybe I will be someday, but you know, so far so good, man. It's worked out for me. No, I mean, yeah, I love those guys that get up and at 'em and sleep by 8 o'clock. But there's a whole nightlife that I enjoy too, and all the, you know, the streets, you know, they're empty except for the rats and the cockroaches and the muggers and the hookers and the dirty cops ready to shake you down. That's where I grew up, and that's what I like about nighttime. And nighttime is a time for loud, dirty, disgusting, raunchy fucking rock and roll.
All right.
So, okay, so the producer's saying we're going to go to I asked you about human resources because we have a new intern, and we had to go through this process to hire this kid, man. His name's Lonnie.
Oh, yeah, I met Lonnie.
Yeah, you met Lonnie. He's a nice kid, man. Don't worry, Lonnie. I'll be fucking careful with it, man. Yeah, there's your fucking guitar, Lonnie. I mean, is Lonnie here? No, Lonnie's not here. We're taping the show. Lonnie's not here. Hey, what, you know, takes all kinds, right? Kids today. He's not here. Anyway, Lonnie had this great. So we hired him with the human resources department, and we had a subsequent interview. They said, you know, you should go to this, man. The guy's gonna be working for you. And you know, I don't know what to ask in a job interview, man, but. You know, they always say, what are your strengths? And this kid, you know, didn't have to ask, man. He was telling, you know, he's organized, he's a go-getter, blah, blah, blah. He was the leader of his fraternity, social, whatever. But I said, what are your weaknesses, man? You know, because they say you should ask that too. And he, without missing a beat, he goes, my temper.
Really? I met Lonnie. I wouldn't.
I know, man, but he
so.
like didn't miss a beat,
person.
and he kind of looked me in the eye like he was like you got a problem with that? You know, I'm like, oh, okay, good, you're working on it, man. Speaking of doing the work, man. Okay, well, this is a new segment, well, it's all pretty new. But we're gonna do a thing. It's called Book Club.
Okay,
and
great.
You know, you read we got homework, but there.
Oh, that's adorable.
Book Club? The fuck is that, man? It's like, what do you think we're kindergarten, man? Let's see what he. So, this is. Anyway, so for this week, we looked at Just Kids by Patti Smith. And, you know, Patti Smith's, you know, hero of the show.
Yep.
A heroine, if you will. Married to Fred Sonic Smith. And this is Robert. I'm sorry. So Robert Mapplethorpe, he does photographs of his fucking forearm up another man's ass, and then we got this graphic, man. Like it's. I mean, it's interesting. There's some cool photos.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, it's a great book.
The other thing, just with you and human development. Why would Lonnie suggest this book, How to Hug Your Porcupine, man? Easy Ways to Love the Difficult People in Your Life, man, by Dr. Debbie Joffe Ellis. No, she just wrote the foreword, but whatever.
Lonnie picked that one?
I assume this is his bit. He wanted to get hired because he wanted to be, he's a assistant / like segment producer, and they hired him on the strength of his ideas, but maybe not his fucking This is a show, man. This is like Rock and Roll Junkies, not book club, man. Have you read? I mean, look, Leonard Cohen, man. I'm Your Man. The Life of Leonard Cohen. Could it get any thicker, man? This is like small print too, really man. Is. I love Leonard Cohen, but not that much,
story.
Man.
It's a big story.
Give this fucking back to. And then this. Apparently, we don't have to read these all now, but we'll. This is about how the guy takes all kinds of psychedelic drugs to change his mind. Apparently for the better.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I mean...
How about you? Have you had experiences of changing your mind?
Yeah, I change my mind almost every day. Guilty as charged, man. But I mean, if you fly too close to the the psychological sun, man, you're going to melt like the Icarus that was Sid Barrett or... Skip Spence, man, from Blue Cheer and later the Jefferson Airplane. Rocky Erickson from Austin, Texas, man. So Dr. Carrie's, in addition to being a human development doctor, and we'll talk about you being my business manager later. I think that's like, save that for off air. But she's like, why don't you be your fucking business manager? I'm like, all right,
let's see where it goes.
Well, hey, let's. But Rocky Erickson, man, he was a pioneer of the psychedelic movement in Austin. He was in a band called the 13th Floor Elevators. He had some great hit songs like Three-Headed Dog and. But a real hero, man. Two-headed dog. But that guy lost his marbles, man. At his house, man, he lived with his mother, and he had to have a TV set blaring at all times. His fucking bracelet broke, man. He got to have the TV set blaring with a radio to, and then they would ask him how you doing? He goes he has the same answer for every question. It was I'm keeping cool or something. Or I'm doing all right. It's hey, what do you think's going to happen with the weather? I'm keeping cool. When's your new? I'm keeping I mean,
Did he ever pop back in?
Not really.
Wow.
And
was
what happens...
Acid?
Yeah, so he got put, man. What happened was he got drafted for the Vietnam War. And... He no, man, here's what happened. He got arrested for weed in Texas, man. He had a joint. And back then, man, in 1966 in Texas, man, they throw the book at you. And he was looking at some hard times. So his lawyer suggested that he plead insanity. And he was sentenced to the Rusk Institute for the Criminally Insane. And it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, man. I think he kind of went nuts on top of eating fistfuls of acid, man.
Wow.
But, he was a psychedelic shaman, but yeah, he flew too close to the sun. Then you get guys that, do a lot of like Flea, man, from the Red Hot. He seems lucid.
Yeah, he did a lot of acid?
Yeah, he did. I think, he did, man. He wrote a book called Acid for the Children. and he wrote how he was a young kid, man, without any adult supervision. And he seems pretty normal, you know. Who was some other crazy? Timothy Leary, man. He took a lot of acid, man.
A lot of acid.
And
Ram Dass, he had a phase, and
Yeah.
then he moved beyond that.
I guess it's, you know, just who are some other guys that have done hey, if you're watching and you're interested in this topic, leave us a voicemail or email saying, hey, here's another guy who did a lot of acid, man, who lost his marbles, and we'll bring it up on the next show. So we're not doing this fucking book club, man, and how to change it. I'm sure that's great. I mean, what if you don't want to change your mind?
Maybe
man?
you don't.
You know? Well, what if you are a porcupine? You don't want someone to love you, man. You're happy with your quills, man, because that's your armor.
Really?
These porcupines, man, they can survive because they know almost nothing's going to eat them. Except there's one animal that can kind of like wear them down. But, you know, it's a brilliant thing. So it's like when you did... You know, God or whoever gave you this gift of these beautiful quills. And have you ever seen them? They shake their tail and they can throw those quills at you. They shake that tail and boom,
Damn.
you get. Maybe that's a good thing that they were born like that. Maybe some people are just like porcupines, you know?
Are you a porcupine?
I think we're all porcupine. We all got our own defenses. We all have our own. Some people are like a turtle, man, where their shell is their house.
True.
I always loved that, man. Like a turtle, it would be like Snoopy with his doghouse, man, where all that shit, man. You could find anything in that doghouse, man. You know, but the turtle's like the same thing, but it's on its back, man. It's like, you know, gotta hit the road, Jack.
Totally.
I'm gonna move my house. It's like they're the original, like, van life guys,
Totally
man.
original van life, turtle life.
You know, the other kind of, you know, a shark, man, you're like, oh, it's eating a seal, it's evil. But like the seal ate like 1,000 fish that day, and the fish it ate other stuff. So I think when you change your mind, man, what happens is you just realize it's just we're all little drops of rain in the ocean. None of this shit really matters. But tell that to my business manager who I'm about to fire, man. If I hire you, you know, he's going to be like, I no drop of rain. He's going to fucking sue me. I shouldn't even talk about this. So we're going to get a new graphic for book club. And, but we're in for a special treat.
Wait, are we keeping up with book club? Are you keeping
I'm
up
not
with
going to
it?
read this shit,
Okay.
man. I
So
like
you
to
don't need a
listen.
new graphic.
I like books on tape sometimes because when you were waking up, you know, 4:30, man, that's when I'm sort of thinking about, you know, settling in.
Yeah.
And lately I've been liking the books on tape, you know, because it can, with a good narrator, it can really, you know, take you to a place right now. I'm listening to a thing right now about Billy the Kid, and it's a podcast. They make you part of the history. So it's like you're wearing a 10-gallon hat, and this little kid with buck teeth comes in. I never knew Billy the Kid had a really pleasant demeanor. He was a very smart, polite young man. He spoke fluent Spanish. So he was at home and, you know, with all the communities. People loved this kid, but he had almost an Alfred E. Newman thing going on, like the buck teeth and the freckles. And there's that one picture of him, man. I did an album cover where we substituted me for Billy the Kid, you know, Wanted.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Dead or Alive. But our album, it was a live album, so we called it like Live or Dead or something, man. You know. It was a lot, but that's an iconic thing. But you're like, this Billy the Kid's a scary, like, whoa, man, it's a grainy photo. But in real life, apparently he was a fresh-faced, buck-toothed, happy-go-lucky young lad until he bit off a little more than he could chew. And the guns came out. And he was 17 years old, man, but you know, I think by the time he was 20, man, he had over 11 confirmed kills. But hey, if you got any comments about Billy the Kid, leave us a voicemail or an email. The address is right here below. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back, and we're going to do Telephone Thursday.
Oh, fun.
All right. Back after these words. On this day in rock history, 1965, Rolling Stones release I Can't Get No Satisfaction in the U.S., and it races to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. In 1971, the last broadcast of The Ed Sullivan Show. His final musical guests are Gladys Knight and the Pips. In 1972, David Bowie releases his seminal record, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Also in 72, School's Out gives shock rocker Alice Cooper his first trip to the top of the... What the fuck is that? Who's that, man? It's not Alice Cooper. No, man, it's a different Alice Cooper. Who the fuck? Jesus Christ, Lonnie, man. Motherfucker. All right, and we're back. Rock and roll junkie Johnny Skank here with my special guest, Dr. Carrie, Human Development. Let's get into it. Let's help these people, man, if they got problems. And if they don't, let's make some... Nah, I'm just kidding. All right, you're on the air.
Hello. This message is for Johnny Skank. This is Erin from Oxford, Ohio.
Hey,
and I was wondering if Mr. Skank could please offer some dating advice, offering his expertise, given all of his experience. I just have a dating problem, and I was wondering if Mr. Skank could please advise me. How, sir, do you know the difference between a groupie who just wants your body versus a groupie who just wants your money? Thank you, sir. I would really appreciate your support.
What about a groupie who wants my heart? Or a groupie who wants my mind or my soul? I mean...
That wasn't the question.
It's either my money or my body?
Yeah.
How do I tell the difference? You know what? I don't really care. I don't get, as to paraphrase, Damone and Fast Time, I don't care if she comes, stays, lays of praise. My toes are still tapping. Nah, after. Well, you're gonna know, man, if she's after your money, because there's certain things she'll order expensive items on a menu. She'll start asking you about who's your personal business manager. But after your body, I think they just kind of like, if that's the case, it's sort of like, thank you and see you next time. See you here next year. What's your name, little girl? And I'm not, those are the bad old days of rock and roll. That stuff doesn't happen nearly as often.
Sure.
But
did anybody on the road, get your heart? Did anybody capture your heart in all those years touring?
Well, I'd be remiss if they all, you leave a piece of your heart with them. And they just, a lot of them are music fans. And, I don't know. It's a weird thing, man, because I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. And it's weird that people are like, I'm going to get some of that juju to rub off on me.
Right.
In the form of, But, it's a weird, man, they're groupies in politics, man. I bet this guy, man, how to change your mind, people, I think, are attracted to power. Male, female, it's a power relationship, not so much about sex. Although, I got
do you have any
stories that peel the paint off the fucking walls here.
Do you know any musicians that ended up getting, marrying groupies?
Well, yeah, that guy, I think Todd Rundgren, man, her name was Steven Tyler, man. That Liv Tyler is a result of a groupie to Rockstar. Now, at this point, the mother, Baby Buell, mother of Liv Tyler, would, she had infiltrated into the rock scene, but these girls were groupies going back to the days of Frank Zappa and Cynthia and the Plastercasters, where they would take plaster of Paris and they'd get sculptures of rock stars' phalluses.
Really?
They got Hendrix, they got Zappa, they got everyone, man. So it was like if you were doing a show on a Sunset Strip, man, you were going to get approached by these groupies, and before you knew it, man, you were going to be in a bathtub filled with cement with, hopefully in full tumescence. But I guess, I love researching rock and roll. I think Hendrix, though, was they said his gifts were not just on the guitar.
Substantial.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, yeah, like they had they had Liv Tyler, a beautiful girl who's turned into a fine actor and maybe a mother, but there was her then. These Bowie and Zeppelin, man, but they were going after these girls when they were very young, under legal age, like 13. And there were these two sisters, man, Sable and her sister, they would come from like Palos Verdes, and they drive an hour to Sunset Strip. And they were like the best groupies, man. Everyone loved them. They were cool to hang out with, as cool as a 13-year-old. Right. I mean, it's a little weird, man.
It's a little weird.
But these chicks were down to clown, man. They were
kids.
I mean, I know they were kids. It's a weird thing, but like, there's a very heartfelt interview that Iggy Pop does with Dinah Shore. And, she's like, what's wrong, Iggy? And he's like, I just left this girl at the bus station. And that's a true story, man. He said to this Sable Star or something, man, he's like, we're done. Because I think she tried to stab him in his sleep with some scissors or something. So, I mean, but she went on to have a relatively full life. I think she passed away tragically at a fairly young age. She was working as a blackjack dealer in like Pahrump, Nevada, and she got cancer. Very sad story, but she did more living than most by the time she was 14 than most people do in their lives, man. She wanted that power that she got from,
being close to the...
Very close. To, sometimes more than one guy, but they got a enormous, it's a pecking order, man, because I think we're all sort of animals, like, vying for, supremacy, whatever. But I love groupies. And did we answer, what was her name? And she's from Oxford, Ohio. This is Erin.
Yeah.
And she wanted dating advice.
Yeah, I think that one we can move on from.
You think Erin's going to be dating a bunch of rock stars? All right. So thank you, Erin. All right. Our next one is...
Hi, Johnny. Big fan. Quick question.
Hey, thank you.
Do guitars sound better if you name them something sexy, or something tragic? Okay, that's all.
Interesting.
Thanks.
Wow, sexy or tragic. Naming.
Yeah, do you name your guitars?
Can I tell you a secret? I don't. I'm not. I know people that name their cars, they're like, let's take Bernie out. It's like, why do you name the car Bernie, man? Just say, I'm going to take the fucking, the Ford or the... But, Lucille, man, Trigger is Willie Nelson. So, sexy. I'm trying to think of people that had sexy guitar names, man. And they're not.
Or tragic. That I don't.
A
totally
tragic,
get either.
like like Gypsy Sally, or like. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think to answer your question, I think guitars sound better if you name them something sexy.
All right.
You know, or part B to my answer is, does I don't care count?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. You know, name it.
Exactly.
Guitar come on, man. We gotta. Isn't
We
Lonnie
need like
supposed
better,
to filter
we need
these?
meatier questions. Is this
Oh
a
my God.
Lonnie production?
I don't know, man. It seems like everything. It seems he's got his tentacles in every little. All right. Next one.
Hey, this is Wayne from Denver. My boys and I got into a discussion and couldn't come to a definitive answer. I was hoping you could make a ruling on this. All right, the question is, which rock legend would win in a fistfight? Freddie Mercury, Prince, or David Bowie?
Ooh, that's kind of a good question.
Freddie Mercury, Prince, or David Bowie?
You do yours and then I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly how this will go down. You want me? Okay.
You go.
David Bowie was an amateur boxer.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He knocked Lou Reed out cold after Lou got in his face at a club in New York City, Maxwell's, Kansas City, and they made up, but the damage was done. Lou really insulted him, but David Bowie, professional, semi-pro boxer, man. And it's possible, I don't know how he got the two different color eyes, but it could have been something with a fighting thing. The next guy, man, Freddie Mercury, man, because, when you grow up gay, man, you're getting bullied and you got to defend yourself a lot. And, he wasn't, Freddie was a kind of lanky guy. He was very fit. I love Prince, man, but the guy's 4'7", man.
I think he's pretty mighty, though.
I just can't. I feel like you could knock him over.
Maybe.
Who are you going with?
I think I'm going to go with Freddie Mercury.
As the toughest?
As the toughest.
All right. I mean,
That's
do we know? We don't. We can only.
It's a lean crowd, so
let's just. I know though that a lot of people were going to go, "Oh, Bowie is a wimp, man."
But no.
Semi-amateur boxer, man, and Bowie came in and he said, "Lou." Lou was antagonizing him. He just said he grabbed Lou by that fucking little head,
But when you see Freddie in that wife beater T-shirt and the tight jeans, he's like a little bulldog.
Well, he was very mercurial too. He had that I just got to say, with all due respect, man, Prince, maybe, but I just can't, just as a size, man, he's like, maybe he'd win in a fight with a bunch of third graders. He's just a small guy. We love Prince, but
Rest in peace.
All right, but that's a good, Wayne, thanks, man, and I'm glad that you and your boys got into a discussion, and hopefully we found your definitive answer. Mine's Bowie's the toughest, man. And Dr. Carrie, I think, stay with Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
All right. We got one more? Two more. Oh, we got a couple.
Hi, Johnny and Dr. Carrie. I think I may need some help with my pretty severe case of road rage. I get so goddamn worked up at all the bad drivers. Old ladies going too slow. Kids looking at their damn phones. I'm worried I'm going to snap soon, and I don't want to... What can I do so I don't get so freaking ticked off on my daily commute? Which is 80 minutes each way, I should add. I don't think I'm an asshole in real life, but I turn into this screaming maniac now when I'm behind the wheel.
I think he's a
I don't want to be
robot in
angry,
real
I just
life.
want to rock, thanks.
That doesn't sound like a human being to me, man.
It doesn't sound real.
I don't know, man.
The question's kind of good, but it doesn't sound like a real person.
Sounded like a fake thing, just to,
Might have been.
populate the fuck. But road rage is something that we've all experienced. All right, man, little black woo. What the fuck, man? That guy just fucking crossed into my lane, man. Jesus, fuck. And despite, what's the thing about our better angels? The better angels of our nature, we should not succumb to it, but it can be hard when you get cut off by someone texting, man, or like someone's going too slow, or they pass you, and there's so many triggers, But I guess my answer, man, how does this guy deal? You know what this is, man? It sounds like fucking Kit, man, the car from Knight Rider, man. Like fucking Michael. I'm starting to get road rage.
Michael.
That guy just cut me off. Oh my God, man, this guy like, we've sunk to this level where robots are called. What I do, man, a friend of mine told me this, but someone does something real dicky to you, man, and he cuts you off, and you want to give him the finger, or you want to get out with a fucking tire, you know, just give them the thumbs up, and they'll know, man, that they done something wrong. You're cool. I don't know, man. It's worked a couple times, although, you know, I will sort of lay up in bed at night thinking, you know, like, I let him off too easy.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Really? It sticks with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real, but these guys get really pissed, man. You know, and it's just like, what are they? You know, he who has road rage and drives away lives to, you know, have road rage another day. It's just you don't want to be the guy getting shot on the
No,
fucking
remember
side.
that in L.A. when there was like
Yeah, man.
road rage shootouts all the
Oh
time?
man, people get so mad, man, while they're driving. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people, you know, will, you know, take certain substances to relax them while behind a wheel. I don't know if I can endorse that or not.
I think managing the upset is probably a better route.
Yeah, but I guess what the gist of this, man, is that it does do something primal to you, man. You get so pissed off because you're like, that person tried to kill me, and you know, it's like the thing I was saying about the turtle, man, with its shell and movement. You know, your car is sort of an extension. It's like your armor, and when someone, you know, it's like you take it personal. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a good point. It
Yeah.
is a little bit like a turtle shell when you're in a car.
If I would say to this guy, man, here's what you do, man. You
There you
read how
go.
to change your
Yeah,
mind.
good idea. Or how to hug a
Mike-
porcupine.
Oh yeah, like that. The guy just cut you off. He's like, I love you, man. I'm gonna get some quills on me, but give me a hug, man. The
Maybe.
guy in the fucking Miata that just fucking gave you the finger. He's just a porcupine, man. I love it. All right. So yeah, thank you for your call. We got another one here, I guess.
Hi, I was recently mugged in a parking garage, and I was looking into non-lethal weapon options such as pepper spray, mace, or bear spray. Do you have any suggestions on non-lethal weaponry? Thanks. Sincerely, mugged in Memphis.
Mugged in Memphis, man. You know what? I think she's been exploring some non-lethal fucking Valium IV drip, man. Either that or she got an ice pick right in the middle of her forehead, man. Nah, I mean, hey, listen, I'm mugged in Memphis. All right, have you ever been pepper sprayed?
Never. Have you?
It's uncomfortable, man, because what it does is it does something, and I can't explain what it is, man. Your eyes burn. It causes your breathing to, you know, get short of breath, but it does, oddly, man, it creates a sense of dread and foreboding. And what that does, man, I don't know how they got these chemicals, man, but it takes the fight right out of you, man.
Wow.
So the problem is, and this happened to a good friend of mine, man, he was assaulted by some Mexican gang members, and he had the wherewithal. Someone gave him some pepper spray, and he sprayed it up. And the guy goes, ah! But it started dripping down into his own face. So both these guys were, you know, rubbing their eyes and screaming and, you know, filled with this foreboding and dread. So, I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think? What should she do? I mean, I know what you're going to say. Get a semi-automatic weapon. No, I don't think you're going to say it.
No, that's not me.
Get a knife. I would. No.
What about that knuckle thing that has the little blades between it? Maybe that, the key ring.
Yeah, but
Are
you David Bowie, man? Who's gonna
True.
David Bowie could throw that punch, but if you and what you have to remember, man, with all weapons, and I'm a lover, not a fighter. Whether it's for my heart, my money, my, what else does she want?
Money
man?
or body?
Yeah, my body, whatever. If you drop that weapon, man, the other person gets it.
Right. Then
I mean, what's her? So she's worried that she's going to get mugged in Memphis again. She don't want it to happen again. So
I would tell her, go to therapy and make sure you clear out any trauma that might have happened from this.
Well, the trauma from getting her fucking wallet cleared out by some mugger.
Right.
In Memphis.
It's scary to be mugged.
So you're saying, like, lightning may not strike twice, and she should just deal with the injury that was not to her pocketbook.
Yeah, don't stay in the fear of it happening again.
Right.
Deal with wow, that happened to me, and maybe I need to talk to somebody about it.
Well, we got a friend, man, who she was in Costa Rica, and she got carjacked, and she went up to the guy, and she gave him a hug.
There you go.
He still stole her fucking car, but she hugged him, and maybe it saved her life. It
might have.
Like, I guess that's how Jesus was, man. It's like shit would happen. So that's another topic, man. Maybe it's like, when do you roll over? When are you the passive person that's got to turn the other cheek? And when do you, get literally loaded for bear and just start spraying indiscriminately? Like if someone gives you some lip in a line at the grocery store, right to the, get that sense of foreboding and dread. And as far as mace, bear spray, or pepper spray, I think they're all generally the same thing.
Yeah, that's
don't get them in.
That doesn't. There seems like other options she could look into.
And obviously,
because that's still something you have to activate.
Right. And it goes without saying, don't get it into your,
anywhere.
Yeah, especially your genitals.
That does go without saying.
That goes without saying. All right, so we're gonna go to break. We got one more right now.
Email.
It's an email.
Oh, that's some reading.
All right. Hi, I was recently mugged in no. All right. So, Johnny, big fan. Listen, I'm a musician. We met each other, but I'm not gonna say my name because of sensitive nature of what I'm about to say. After a gig, I was asleep in the back of the van. Me, the bass player, his girlfriend, and both of our dogs. It was like 4 a.m. and we were dead tired, but I had a dream I was getting a BJ, which I was all right with, He writes, in the fucking email, man. Oh, shit, my thing, man. He was all right with, Then I kind of woke up, and there was a blanket over us, and I could see it was no dream. I was getting blown by the bass player's girlfriend.
Wow.
I'll call her Denise. I pretended to be asleep the whole time, was even pretending to snore. Long story short, I blew my load. This is like fucking Penthouse Forum, man. I blew my load. Then to my surprise, the bass player came out from under the blanket and was looking for a beer or a soda. I could see that Denise was out cold. I quickly pretended to be snoring again.
Whoa.
But I think I got blown by my bass player, and since then I've been depressed and confused. I'm not gay. Some people say a blowjob's a blowjob. And basically that's what I'm asking you. Should I just let bygones be bygones? Or is this a case where I was defenseless and got molested in my sleep? I honestly thought it was Denise blowing me.
What do you think?
Wait, is there more? Oh, not the bass player. Since then, it's been tough to look the guy in the eye, and I think it's hurt our music. I really don't know what to do, man. Keep rocking, Blackie. Blackie. That's
What's your advice?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't think a blowjob's a blowjob, man. I think whoever's fucking telling him that is selling him a bill of goods, man. You know, people say a blowjob's a blowjob, man. They also got a fucking bridge to sell you, man.
You think he should call him on it?
I don't know, man, because I know a guy. Similar thing happened to him. He's like, hey, man, a BJ's a BJ. I'm like, no, I don't think it is, man. But this is a weird thing. Now,
What would you do?
Shit. Because if you bring it to the surface, I believe time heals all wounds.
That
So
one?
time, but these guys can't look at each other, and it's hurting their music. Is the bass player, man, and you know that, I mean, you know what little detail about that kind of just gave me the heebie-jeebies? When he comes from under the blanket, he's looking for a beer or a soda. I mean, those are the details, man. That's like, and you know, so Denise, but I mean, I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
Is it ever comfortable to live a lie, to live a life that's dishonest for the sake of a better, you know what I mean?
Like to keep the peace?
Yeah, like
Not in this case.
I don't know. I was sleeping the whole time. I didn't know you. You know.
You think that's what the bass player
Forget
would
it. He could
say?
forget it. This guy could Blackie.
Yeah.
He could forget about it. He could pretend it never happened. Right.
Okay, that's a way.
He can pretend it was Denise.
Totally.
And then when Denise, you know, suspected that he might wake up, because, you know, it was that time.
The switcheroo?
Yeah, she pretends to be asleep. So if Blackie goes to the bass player, he's like, yo, man, I got blown the other night.
So wait, do you sense that he isn't sure or he is sure?
I think he's pretty sure, man. Oh, it says, P.S. I can still feel the stubble on my belly. No, he didn't say that, man. But, I mean, is BJ just a BJ, man? I mean, I bet you $1, you know, there's someone out there that's going to say, absolutely, man, just relax, man. You know, a BJ is a BJ. It feels good to do it, man. But I just think that this guy, he was he was out cold, apparently.
Sure.
I think they had been touring for a while. And then the back of the van, you know, the dogs are there. There's a sense of security, you know, when you're riding the back of a van. And then, you know, in that weird sort of, you know, twilight where you're tired, it can't make sense. You don't know where you are. And it's like, oh my God, I'm having a great dream right now. I'm having a dream that I'm getting blown, man. And then you realize that you really are getting blown. And you're like, oh, Denise is under the blanket. This is great. And then that blanket comes up and it ain't Denise. It's fucking Geddy Lee, man. Or whichever other, you know, Jack Bruce, man. Or, you know, some of the other great bass players of our time, man. Do you think this guy needs to talk to someone other than us, man?
Again.
And
probably.
what would he say to them, man? Because
yeah, he needs somebody to help him sort it out.
But isn't there a part of our natures, man, that like once something happens, you know, a scab forms, and that's a healthy thing. You don't want to keep rubbing that scab off, man. It's just like, you know, just like maybe in 3 years he'll forget this guy, you know, what happened. But then again, man, he's letting this guy sort of take advantage of him because he didn't have permission to blow him. This guy was sound asleep.
Right. Exactly.
And he kept snoring, man, which is, you know.
Who was snoring?
Blackie. He kept snoring,
man.
Oh,
to pretend like he was asleep.
Like he was, yeah.
Oh, got it.
But at the same time, man, you know, I know that, like, I sound like, you know, Archie Bunker, man. I know that people, like, he loves you, he loves the band, he loves your music. He was just giving you a fucking suck job, man, while you were asleep, man. And they're like, what's wrong with you, man?
I think Archie Bunker would have a problem with The bass player giving him a blowjob.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I guess what kind of, I don't know, man. And then you go, like, David Bowie probably wouldn't give a shit, man. I don't know if Prince might get, Freddie Mercury
He
would.
could totally just let it go. He could totally call
We
him
have
on
to
it.
tell him kind of what to do, man. Why don't you, like, let it, like, sit for, how long, like a month? And if it's still eating you, but I know he's looking over. That guy's doing a bass line. He's looking right over it. He's like, he's like, hey there, hey,
Like
hoss.
turkey necking it.
Yeah, man. And Denise, man, no one really, like,
Yeah, what's her
she's
story?
probably got her own story, man. We'll do a spin-off series on
About
Denise, man.
That would be great.
The bass player's old lady, man. We don't even know whose two dogs they are, man, or what kind of dogs.
Exactly. It's a lot of creatures in a van.
What kind of van? If the dogs were adopted, or if they were from a breeder. But that's a great question, man. I love that. So I would say, let it. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough.
It's a tough one.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'd feel violated.
Has that ever happened to you?
Not with Blackie or his bass player. Rock and roll has sort of always been a macho thing, with some exceptions. Little Richard,
Bowie.
Even Iggy,
Freddie
man.
Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury. I mean, Freddie Mercury was actually like Egyptian or something, man, or like Algerian
Yeah.
or Turkish.
Moroccan?
I don't know, man.
Indian.
Yeah, Indian. That's what he was. He was Indian. Not that, from India, the country. Not like Papa John Phillips, man, who was half Cherokee, or Link Ray, who was FBI, man. He was full-blooded Indian.
Wasn't the guy in
Gene
Iron
Clark
Maiden
from the Byrds.
Was he gay?
Yeah, man. Rob Halford. He's
Yeah.
he's gay, man. He's cool. Yeah,
And he's a hard rocker.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's got to, do the van. There was desperation here because he was asleep next to Denise, yet he still felt the need,
Right. Something's up.
burning desire to blow Blackie.
Right.
Doesn't care about the dogs.
Or Denise.
He was just doing what he was doing what he wanted, man.
He was.
And some people will say that's wonderful. I think it's great he blew the. I don't know. I think there's more to
I don't
this.
know. That wasn't there was no consent. He didn't ask for that.
Right. But then
Blackie.
again, it's like, what do I have to can I buy you a present, or do I have to ask you if I'm gonna give you a present, man? He's like, what? I've got to ask you everything now? He's like, I was doing you a favor, man. You were stressed out. I don't know if the music was suffering at this point, but maybe the bass player did this as a sort of like a way to get the band a little tighter, get
There
that.
you go.
We also don't know why a guy's nickname's Blackie.
No, we don't. I would
just
want
there's
to go
so many things.
in on so many angles with this. Who's Denise?
Right.
Why is he called Blackie?
This is like one of those things where I read it, but it's like, it's hard to imagine a robot generating that question because those things don't happen.
True.
But I guess, yes or no, is a blowjob, just a blow, like, it always feels good, no matter who gives it to you, and
Ask the audience.
ask the audience, see what they think. And I'd love to hear them chime in because frankly, I'm not crazy about it because the guy was out cold, man. It's very hard, man.
That part I'm clear.
But if
that
he was
wasn't
cool
okay.
with it, he'd be like, "Thank you, man." It's like a
Sure.
back rub, It's like I was just giving you a back rub, but I don't know, man.
That's not what he sounds like.
He sounds like he needs
He's pissed.
he
He
needs-
needs some help.
yeah,
Blackie, get some help.
yeah. Blackie, keep rocking, man. Hopefully you'll put this into. we can just hope it'll make the music better.
Yeah, it probably will.
All right, so we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages. You're watching Rock and Roll Junkie. Are hawks making your free range their free lunch? If so, get Hawk Stopper. It's visual deflection netting. It's almost invisible to us, but looks impenetrable to hawks. It's available in 3 sizes, 500, 700, 15 square feet of overhead hawk protection. Go to Amazon or hawkstopper.com and a promo code SkankHawk, and no more hawks eating your chickens, man. All right. And we're back. Johnny Skank, Dr. Carrie, and we are heading into our last, well, we were heading into our last section. So an email came through, and it was from the mother of a heartbroken young gymnast who was going into her state tournament, and she snapped her ankle like a twig.
Oh.
And she's out of commission. The mother said she's very down in the dumps.
Okay.
And, everything has a gray lining on the silver cloud, right? She wants to see the Party for Vito video. And, I'm not doing the show to toot my, hey, look at me. Yeah, we're here to help people. We're here to talk about rock. We're here to have fun, man.
Let's see it.
All right,
Make
so
her
I guess,
day. Make her day.
But listen, man, that stinks because we've all had devastating injuries, and you're young. You're gonna heal yourself, and if Party for Vito, a song I recorded,
Great.
100 years ago.
I know. How fun to have a young fan.
Yeah. So, and it didn't say her. What was her name? Allison. Allison.
All right,
Allison,
this is for you.
You're invited to a Party for Vito.
Oh, let's go.
All right. I know what that feels like, man, coming home from a long gig.
Hey, I know it's been a long time since we've said hello. I know I'm just calling to see if you wanna go to the Party for Vito.
Is Vito Hasidic?
I don't know, he put a Hasidic Jew in there for some reason, man. Everyone asks about that. They also ask why the album's called Skank Up the Jams Volume 2.
Right. It was the first.
Where's Volume 1?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I'm down to clown.
I like that clown bit.
Let's go. Party for Vito.
It's got almost like a little yacht rock feeling.
That's the thing, man. I was working with
Light.
a producer who, I didn't we saw eye to eye. Some people, Allison loves the song, yeah. I think we all relate to getting ready for the big party, man.
Yes or no? It's a simple question. Baby, do you wanna go to the Party for Vito?
Is this based on a real experience you were having?
Sweet mama.
Yes and no.
Loosely.
There was an invitation, man. It was sort of my answer to waiting for Godot.
I get it.
And singing and swinging to that old time rocking.
It was that groupie, man. The lady.
Whose vision was this? Yours or the director's?
It was a mix, you know, because this was the last record I made for that company. That was the director's idea, to sort of like in Pulp Fiction when he opens a thing in the trunk and it's this big shiny thing.
Yeah.
We're like, what is this party for?
I like
Vito?
that.
And you know, sort of like you know, existentialism, where you don't know what's happening. What is a party for Vito? Is it a metaphor? You know, this or that, or it's just like when I was growing up, I had a friend named Vito, and he did have a party, and I don't know, you just, you know, all these thoughts I'm always writing down, you know, songs, man. It's like a butcher who always needs fresh meat. You know, that's like the way of the artist in a lot of ways. So I think also, man, to be perfectly honest, it was sort of my answer to Inagata de Vida. It was like Party for Vito, Inagata de Vida.
I hear that.
And so, you know, these things will oftentimes, that came to me like I got shot, you know, with bear spray right in the temple, man.
Party
It
for
just
Vito.
popped out, almost fully formed. What the producer did, the slick treatment, you know.
Would you have made it a little more rockin'?
When I play it in concert, we rock
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, man, we do it, you know, we do it.
I could see an acoustic version too.
Yeah, it's you know, and some people love, you know, they like it. We had a restaurant. They were a Buffalo chicken wing joint, and they licensed the song for a little bit. And if you become my business manager, you hear all about those deals or lacks thereof.
Is it not in business anymore?
Well, they had it was just, they were nice guys. Someone slipped on the ice outside of the entrance, and, you know, they just couldn't So,
But it wasn't like a salmonella or anything.
no, the food was good. I mean, it was just, you know, it was in upstate New York, western Buffalo, New York. And yeah, they were fans of the you know, Dr. Carrie, it's been very nice to have
been
you,
great to
as
be
usual.
here.
Human development expert, my wing woman, and keep the questions coming. We're going to be here.
And the requests, Allison. I think that was a great request. I'd love to see more of your videos.
Well, there are more videos.
I can't wait.
There are more of them.
I want
man.
all the eras.
Yeah, so
Early days.
yeah, but we got so you know, and we're gonna have some cool guests coming up in the near
Nice.
future to sort of, you know, play some live music on the show. But I guess what everyone's asking right now is what's my final thought gonna be, and you'll find out after this on Rock and Roll Junkie.
A home isn't just a place, it's where your story begins. At Oakenstone Realty, we take the time to understand what home means to you. From first tours to final signatures, we're by your side every step of the way. And when you're ready, Alice Cooper is the local expert who gets results with heart, hustle, and hometown know-how.
The average guitar has 6 strings, and when played correctly, those 6 strings can be deadly in the best way possible. The same, though, can't be said for the 7 deadly sins, which were on full display in today's Telephone Tuesday. We saw how pride, greed, wrath, lust, envy, gluttony, and sloth can be well, problematic. Sloth, Lonnie's unexplained but not unexpected absence, as well as his epic fail at a graphic for our book club segment. Gluttony came in the form of legendary Texan Rocky Erickson, who gobbled tabs of acid like a homeless bum at an all-you-can-eat shrimp buffet. Wrath was explained in our discussion of road rage and its often lethal consequences. When you get behind the wheel, just remember, ass, cash, or grass, no one rides for free. We looked at that old rock and roll staple, lust, as it reared its horny little head with a strange tale of Blackie, asleep in a van with his bandmates, awakened by his male bass player blowing him. Greed and its insatiable gimme, gimme, gimme hands came to us in the form of the groupies who used plaster to immortalize the male members from the pantheon of rock gods in phallic sculpture. Hendrix, as usual, the cock of the walk. We gotta walk the walk if we're gonna talk the talk, and we had a hell of a time doing it today. It's only rock and roll, but we like it. Sometimes we're saints, sometimes we're sinners, but we'll always be rock and roll junkies. I'm Johnny Skank, saying long live rock and ciao for now.